Hey guys, Rick Stone here from Stoney Acres Gardening. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about things that we can still be planting in our garden in the month of June. And the list is amazingly long. So this video is designed for those of you that have had your last frost, which is probably most of us, and live in garden zones 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's really just a ton of stuff. I'm always getting emails from people saying, hey, is it too late? It's so late in the year, I feel like I'm so behind. And guess what? There are a lot of people in this world that don't even get their gardens planted until the first part of June. And so there is plenty of time to do plenty of garden planting in June. You're not too far behind. Let's get started on the list because it's a big one. All right, so first on the list is all of your squashes, both your summer squashes like zucchini, patapan squash, crookneck squashes. Those can all be planted still in June, plenty of time for those. And your winter squashes. Now, you want to get those winter squashes in as soon as you can because they do take quite a bit longer for growing overall. So things like your butternut squashes, your banana squashes, spaghetti squash, Hubbard squashes, all of those, you want to get those in as soon as you possibly can, but there still is plenty of time. Those usually mature in 100 to 120 days. For most of us, there's still plenty of frost-free time for that, so get those squash planted. Here's one in the squash family that I almost missed, and that is cucumbers. So plenty of time in June to get cucumbers done. In fact, cucumbers you could plant all the way up until July. Any type too, pickling cucumbers, slicing cucumbers, bush, vining, whatever. Cucumbers are perfect to plant in June. Plenty of time still left in the season for those to mature. So get some cucumbers planted. All right, and next is all of your melons. So there's still plenty of time to do cantaloupe, watermelon, all of the exotic melons, those musk melons and things. We still have plenty of time. We're starting to get on the outer edge of some of the really fancy things like Crenshaw melons. They take a solid 100 to 120 days. And so again, as soon as you can, early in June, you want to get those planted. But you know, the smaller melons, the icebox melons, your cantaloupes, all of those, plenty of time to still get those planted. So get some in right now and you're going to have a great crop. Now, what about tomatoes? Do you still have time to get tomatoes and all the tomato family plants in the ground? Yes, definitely. Plenty of time. Again, I would probably start thinking about shorter maturing varieties. So maybe some of the longest maturing varieties of tomatoes might, you might be pushing it a little bit. I might consider things that are maturing more in that, 90 to 100 day range instead of some of those really exotic heirlooms that take 120 days to mature. But beyond that, really sky's the limit. You really have plenty of time to get your tomatoes planted still. Also in the tomato family would be things like peppers, eggplant, tomatillos, plenty of time for all of those as well. So you can get all of those planted. And then if you want to do something like okra, still plenty of time for okra to get planted too. So get all of those in early as you can in the month of June. Also everything in the bean family. So here we're talking about your green beans, whether pole beans or bush beans, either one, plenty of time for those to still get planted. And also you still have time for your dried beans. So pinto beans, black beans, the soybeans or edamame, all of those you still have plenty of time. Get them in, they're gonna do great. There's just ton of time, especially like your bush beans. Boy, you could still be planting those in July as well. So lots of time for those beans. And what about potatoes? Do you still have time to do potatoes? Yes, you might have a little bit harder time finding seed potatoes this time of year, but if you can find some seed potatoes, you still have plenty of time to plant regular potatoes and sweet potatoes. In fact, it's almost June 1st and I haven't even planted my sweet potatoes yet because it has been a little bit too cool. So we'll be putting our sweet potatoes in this week. Plenty of time for both regular potatoes and sweet potatoes to be planted in the garden in June. And you still have time for corn. In fact, we're just going to be planting some more popcorn this weekend. So we're going to be planting right here along this fence. We'll be planting some hills of popcorn. So both popcorn and sweet corn, you can still get planted in June. In fact, there's shorter maturing varieties of sweet corn that you could plant probably all the way up until about the 1st of July. So get your popcorn in right away if you're going to grow popcorn because it takes a little longer, but there are some sweet corns that you could definitely be planting all through the month of June. not a problem at all. And then what about herbs? There's still plenty of herbs that you can be planting. All of your traditional culinary herbs have plenty of time to grow. This is some sage that we're going to be putting in today. Basil, oregano, parsley, dill, all of those traditional herbs that we grow, plenty of time for those. I think probably the only herb that I wouldn't plant in June would be cilantro. Cilantro is really bolt happy. It wants to bolt and go to seed fairly quickly in the heat, and so I'd probably hold off on cilantro, replant that in the fall. But everything else, all of your traditional culinary herbs, you can still plant during June, no problem at all. And last but not least would be your greens. So there's still plenty of time for planting greens. Here we're thinking about things like collards, kale, all of your summertime spinaches like Malabar spinach and New Zealand spinach can still be planted. And then you can do some lettuce. We want to be looking at specifically summer crisp lettuces, so varieties like Nevada, Muir, Magenta, Cherokee. Those will still do well in the summertime also, so you can still plant all of those during the month of June as well. So the big picture that I want you to get out of this video today, guys, is it is not too late to plant your garden, especially early in June, plenty of time. As you start to move later into June, that window is starting to get a little bit smaller, and so think about shorter maturing varieties later in June. Early in June, pretty much anything that you want to plant, you can still plant. As we get a little bit later in the month of June, you'll be a little bit more limited. I would, start looking at varieties. If you've got a choice between a variety that's going to mature in 100 days and one that's going to mature in 75 days, choose the 75. But beyond that, really, sky's the limit in June. Please don't be discouraged. There is so much that you can still be planting during the month of June, and you're gonna want to get it in, and you'll regret it if you don't. So still plenty of time to get that garden planted, so get it done. All right, thanks guys for watching this week. I appreciate you being here. I did want to just point out we're starting to shift our focus and our thoughts towards our fall garden already, and we do have our year-round gardening mini course, which is free and is available for you to sign up for right now. There's a link down in the description of this video that you can click on to join that year-round gardening mini course. It's about 45 minutes long. Again, it's free. It will help kind of give you a basis for what you need to be doing for your fall and winter gardens, because only a month from now, and we're really going to be starting to think about and focusing on what we should be planting in the fall. So you need to get your basis going there. So go ahead, sign up for that free course, take it. I'm going to teach you a little bit more about what you can grow in the fall. All right, thanks again for watching today, guys. Make sure you get subscribed to my channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you next week. Happy gardening. Hey guys, thanks again for watching, and make sure you get subscribed to my channel. Here's a couple of videos that YouTube thinks you're really going to enjoy. And I also wanted to have you go check out the Gardening Academy, which is our monthly membership service where we grow great gardeners. There's a link in the description of this video you can click on to learn more, but I'd love to have you join us over there. Happy gardening.